Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The Atman is one. This Atman is one without a second. And even though it is one without a second, we somehow, under the spell of ignorance, perceive it to be many. And Jnaneshwar Maharaj in Amritanubhav is giving some examples to bring our attention to the oneness in spite of the manyness. Hopefully, listening to these examples, contemplating on these examples, where there is nothing to contemplate. When you listen, you know. And that has to be applied to ourselves also. The example is that does the oneness of the moon get affected because of the moonlight covering the moon? Does the one moon is always complete. Does the various 15 days of waning and waxing of the light, we say it is waning and waxing of the moon, but moon never wanes and waxes. It's the light which comes and goes. It covers it over 15 days and then it covers the moon completely, so we call it full moon. And then another after 15-16 days, the light recedes and we call it no moon. Is the moon affected? No. Moon continues to be the same. Same way, we must apply it on ourselves, that in spite of all that is coming and going, what is coming and going? What will be full moon? The waking. The day and the night, the hunger and the thirst, the changes that are coming and going at the sensory level, at the body level, at the breath level, at the mind level. Just as the moon was ever complete, you are also ever complete in spite of all the changes that are taking place. Continuing the example, although thousands of petals open out, there is no illusion of otherness within the same lotus. Just as when the lotus bud is closed, it is one flower, it is one bud. But when it opens up, we see the manyness of the petals. But do we say that there are many lotuses on account of many petals? No. We say it is one lotus. But what our eyes are seeing? Our eyes are not seeing one lotus. Our eyes are seeing the many petals of that one lotus. Similarly, you see the one with many limbs, with many indriyas, sense perception, sense organs, with many thoughts. Take them as the fragrant petals of that one lotus. What is lotus? That which is untouched by the water. What are you? Untouched by the waters of the samsara. Shift your attention to that continuous principle. Yet one more example is taken, the king Sahasrarjun. Sahasrarjun was killed by Parshuram. He had 1,000 arms and he could fight with 1,000 arms. So here it is told, King Sahasrarjun had 1,000 arms. Does that mean that he was 1,001? Because he had 1,000 arms plus him, does it make him 1,001, or it is one person who is having 1,000 arms? Understand it subjectively also. Because we are playing so many roles in our life, does it mean we are all those roles plus that I am? Or is it one, appearing as, expressing as various roles? But what happens to us? We forget the original, we forget the one, and we get lost in the periphery. We get lost in the expression. Yet one more example, there are many threads on the loom, but is there anything other than the yarn? In this cloth that I am wearing, you are wearing, there is crisscrossing of the threads. So is there anything called cloth? Actually speaking, no. Is there anything called thread which is crisscrossing so that a cloth can be prepared? No. Then what is the origin? The origin is the cotton, origin is the yarn, out of which the thread is made, out of the thread the cloth is made, out of the cloth the dress is made. On that one yarn, the thread is superimposed, one cloth is superimposed, the dress is superimposed, or we can say the yarn is expressing as the thread, expressing as the cloth, expressing as the dress. But because we are seeing this dress, we forget the yarn, the origin out of which this dress is prepared. Similarly, your fabric of life is prepared by the crisscrossing of your thoughts, emotions, convictions, etc. Don't forget, the crisscrossing of water brings about a wave. Similarly, the crisscrossing of consciousness brings about the mind. The variety is in the mind. The original remains the same ever and ever and ever, unchanging. And that I am. There are millions of words in the house of speech. However, the speech is one. Speech doesn't become many. It is one. But it expresses as many words. Similarly, wherever our attention goes in life, whether it goes to the seasons, whether it goes to the rays of the sun, whether it goes to the waves on the water, whether it goes to the ornaments on the gold, whether it goes to the space in your room, enough examples are given in Amrit Anubhav, and there are enough examples in our life which can become pointers to the consciousness that we are. Bring your attention to that consciousness. Be that consciousness in spite of everything that is going on. And you are victorious.